Well, it's been a couple months now since Matt Hardy chose to let his AEW contract expire. He chose to not renew with the company and chose to leave and go into free agency. Not too long after, Jeff Hardy, as expected, also left AEW, chose to not renew his contract either. I'm not sure if there was much effort put into trying to keep either one of them on Tony Khan's end either. And Matt Hardy was very respectful for the most part in leaving AEW. But now he's kind of opening up a little bit more and sort of venting his frustrations with how him and Jeff were used in AEW. And Matt Hardy is not really biting his tongue on this one. He first spoke to Busted Open, speaking with Bully Ray, Dave LaGreca, about his frustrations on how he was used in AEW, and then he follows up with that on his own podcast, The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. Check out these clips.
In TNA, the Hardy Boys can get the run that we deserve at this stage of our career, and that is the run to cement our legacy, and that is very important to both of us.
Well, I was going to hold off on going in for the kill, but after hearing that, I'm going in for the kill.
Go for the kill.
So the run that the Hardy Boys have earned, the run that the Hardy Boys deserve, yada, yada. Why did we not see that type of run occur in AEW?
That's a great question. And I would just say, I think considering Jeff and I, our status as legends, and with the way we work right now, I feel we have incredible star power. I mean, if you were at WrestleCon in Philadelphia, it was outrageous how much we signed, how many people that were there to see us. We have fans coming up crying to us like it's 2000 all the time. But I feel like AEW is more focused on having a 5-star match as opposed to having a segment that is hugely impactful and makes a moment. You know, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, that's why that happens. In the beginning, we started off very well. Jeff messed up and he made a mistake. And Jeff tried to repent for that. He did everything. He went and got right. And one thing that I can say about Jeff, that I am very happy at the place he is in his life. He's practically perfect as a human being. He hadn't been like this in well over 20 years. So that is great. And that makes me very happy for him and his family. So he was in a good place. I just don't know why we never got that other opportunity to show people what we could do and capitalize on the popularity that we have. We're like, much like you guys, Bubba, when you and Devon step out, you are generationally popular. There are people from different generations that know you and love you and respect you. And Jeff and I are like that to a very high degree. And we would have loved to have had that run in AEW, but lo and behold, that didn't happen. And I think we're both happy now that we are somewhere else where we feel like we'll get utilized and optimized in our status as legends, as we are legends who can still go. We were in a good spot because I feel like one of the issues in AEW, and I said that I feel energized. It's nice because I feel utilized. I feel optimized, because I feel like one of the issues in AEW, and I said this before, I did Busted Open earlier today. Like when we first came in and we were first getting used, like we were in a good spot. It was very cool what we were doing. I liked what Tony was doing with us, and we were on the path to win the titles. And then Jeff got in trouble. Jeff messed up, and that was all on Jeff. You know, that was not on Tony. That was not on AEW. That was on Jeff, and it just is what it is. So I did my thing. Jeff went and got himself right. Whenever he came back, you know, I figured, it'll probably take a couple months, 2-3 months to prove himself, because I knew where Jeff was here in his head. I knew what kind of positive headspace he was in and how good of a place he was in. I said it'll probably take 2 or 3 months. He'll earn the trust back of these people, and then maybe we'll be off and running. But just that after Jeff came back, you know, we didn't win a tag team match for a year. It's crazy. We're the Hardys. We didn't win a tag team match on TV in a year. And
not even an enhancement match or anything.
I brought this point up, like, what are we doing? Like, just give us a win. Like, we don't need to be we don't need to be the champions. We don't need to be undefeated, but just like we need a win, you know, at some point. If you have the Hardy Boys, one of the most popular tag teams, if not the most popular overall when it comes to merchandise, if you can't find a way to utilize us and fit us into your product in a positive way, then I think that's problematic.
Yeah,
think
I
that's
mean, I totally
problematic.
agree with you there.
That's
I
me.
totally agree.
And once again, we got that opportunity, and that was not on Tony in the beginning. That was not on AEW. That was on Jeff, and that lies solely on Jeff because he's the one that screwed up earlier on. And I am openly admitting that. That is me speaking honestly. And we would have loved to been able to get another opportunity to do that, and to work hard, to work smart, whatever else, and to have that last great run, as a tag team, and have done it in AEW. I would have been okay doing that. But, lo and behold, just sometimes things don't work out the way you hope they do. And sometimes you have to change course. Sometimes you have to go in a different door, and you have to just start, moving your ass forward and keeping your chin up. And that's where we're at right now.
So I fully understand when a Hall of Fame level talent like the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, feel like they're being underutilized, not getting the TV time they deserve or the push that they deserve, or not being used in a proper story. I get that, and Matt and Jeff Hardy certainly are Hall of Fame level talents. I do think Matt sort of overestimates the value of the Hardy Boys in today's market as legends, as Hall of Famers, as, all-time great tag teams. They're absolutely top of the list. And Matt always likes to tout the cons, the Comic Cons and the appearances and the autograph sessions and stuff that they do, where they have these big long lines and they have all these diehard dedicated fans that just cry, the Hardy Boys. They weep and they pass out when they see Jeff Hardy's handsome face. But that does not necessarily, or has not necessarily, transferred over to television. I think fans of a legendary team that want to go see them at conventions and get pictures and autographs are not necessarily the same people that are buying tickets to the arenas to go see shows. I could be wrong, but we haven't really seen anything, one way or the other. In my opinion, I haven't seen the Hardy Boys be all that big of a draw. On top of that, there's the trust issue. Now, look, Tony Khan was going to give them the titles. You heard Matt say it. This is well documented. I believe Tony has said this as well. The plan was in place for them to have that match with the Young Bucks. I believe it was at an All Out, and it was supposed to be a ladder match, and the Hardys were supposed to win that. But Jeff Hardy went and fucked up and got his third DUI. And then you heard Matt Hardy say, well, that's on Jeff. I get that. We fucked up, or Jeff fucked up. But Jeff has been doing good. I figured it would hold us back, a couple months or whatever, and Jeff would have to reprove himself. But after that, we could get back on track, and it hasn't. And that's where Matt Hardy's true frustration comes in. Ever since Jeff fucked up, AEW just hasn't used them. He hasn't put them in any prominent positions. And Matt really is offended by that. He feels like Jeff could have just, proved himself for a month or 2, 3 months, whatever. Then they could get back on track. But I don't blame Tony Khan here. Look, Tony Khan was going to give you guys the tag team push that you thought that you deserved, that you probably did deserve. Look, you bring in a big time act like the Hardy Boys to a company like AEW. Yes, you want to use them in your tag team division, giving them a title run real quick so that they could end up working programs with some of the younger teams and end up putting them over in the end is a smart way to utilize them. But Jeff fucked up for the third time. And I don't want to hear this, he proved himself. We waited a couple months and Jeff was doing good, but Tony wouldn't give us another chance. Well, why not? Well, everybody deserves another chance, right? A second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. How many chances? I've been really hard on Jeff, and here's why. I actually went out and pulled this clip this time because I've referenced it a few times. Shortly after Jeff Hardy walked out of the WWE, he walked out. If you remember that, he just moseyed out into the crowd and he left WWE because of that. Rumors were he was fucked up, he was intoxicated, he was on something at that time. And then Jeff came on, Jeff and Matt did the Talk Is Jericho podcast. And Jeff said that, they wanted him to take a drug test. They wanted him to go into rehab. He refused to go into rehab, so he quit. And they had a drug test pending, and apparently the drug test came back clean. And then they wanted to do like a Hall of Fame gimmick. But here is Jeff Hardy explaining that he was clean, that he's sober. Oh, yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Check out this clip.
I can't explain it. I think things in my life happen for a reason. And even subconsciously, when I went over that guardrail, I was done. It was just some unpredictable, erratic behavior that Jeff Hardy does from time to time. And I didn't think it would result in them drug testing me, like when I got home on that Monday, rushing the drug test, and then the next day they say, go to rehab or we're going to release you. So, and that's just, I'm not leaving my family for 28 days to save my job.
Right, and you've been through this so many times, and when you say that you're clean, you're off the drugs like you mentioned, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to know why I'm so hard on Jeff Hardy, and you want to know why Tony Khan should not have trusted Jeff Hardy, and he was right to not put any sort of effort behind Jeff Hardy at all, because that clip that you just listened to from Talk Is Jericho aired on June 1st, 2022. Now, it probably was not recorded June 1st, 2022, but it was around that time, right? Probably, Jeff debuted shortly around that time in AEW. It was recorded, put out June 1st, 2022. Jeff was arrested for his third DUI on June 13th, 2022. So I had just got done listening to a podcast 2 weeks ago of Jeff Hardy. You just heard him say it. Oh yeah, clean and sober, perfectly fine. All's good in the hood. And they doubled down on that. They were on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy as well, confirming that everything was fine. Jeff's good. Matt's been vouching for him as well. Oh yeah, Jeff's doing great. He's better than I've ever seen him. He's looking good. He's happy. He's healthy, blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks later, he's arrested for a third DUI. Do not fucking tell him. And he refused his rehab to leave he quit WWE because he didn't want to go into rehab. Do not fucking tell me that Jeff Hardy deserves yet another chance. Yet another. I do not believe you when you say that, oh yeah, I'm good now. Why? Because when you said that, you were coming off your second DUI, being fucked up in the ring with Sting, being fucked up here, there, everywhere, drug charges. Jeff Hardy had a hard life, and look, I'm not judging the guy. I'm not here to play the moral high ground here. Fuck, I've done my fair share of drugs in my life. It's fine. But he's been a general fuck up. So you can't now come out and be pissy that Tony Khan didn't want to give you yet another chance, a fourth chance. We all just heard Jeff Hardy say, oh, everything's great, I'm fine, and then get arrested two weeks later. That's bullshit. What do? A couple months, Jeff proved himself. We should have got another push. Fuck you, because prove yourself means nothing to me anymore. Because you've gone a year or two in between without getting arrested. Jeff's 3 DUIs were over the course of 10 years. And those are just DUIs. That doesn't count the drugs and all of that as well. I'm sorry. Tony Khan makes a lot of booking mistakes. And yes, if you have the Hardy Boys, they should be utilized to some extent. I don't get just barely using them, not winning matches, keeping them off of TV. But man, you had your title run there. The exact same thing that you are pitching, that you were wanting out of the end of your career, that you're upset Tony didn't give you. Tony was ready to give you on a silver platter till your boy fucked up. I don't give a shit. It's been what, 2 years? I don't care. I'll never trust Jeff Hardy again, because I bought into that. When he said that on Talk Is Jericho, he doubled down on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. Fuck, man. Okay. I've always liked Jeff. He's always been entertaining to me. Fine. Man, I'm with you. It's good to see you happy, healthy. Now you're in AEW. Let's fucking go. Because I liked AEW at the time, too. I was happy with that product at the time. Fucked up again. Fucked up right after he said he was good. Right after he walked out of WWE for refusing rehab. Did they know something that they're not letting on? Maybe he passed his drug test, but what was the rehab for? Was it for drugs? Was it for alcohol? Was it for both? I don't think that he was clean and sober in WWE. I don't think that they were pushing the ultimatum of rehab or you're fired if they just, suspect. There had to be some shit going on, and we clearly saw it not too long after, because Jeff Hardy, just like he did in TNA, probably saw, oh, this is not as corporately structured as WWE here in AEW. Do they drug test? I don't fucking know. And if they do, they don't make it public. And what are the consequences? Probably not much, because Tony's a softie. Who cares, right? It's a place to go make a great big paycheck and then fuck up all you want. And who's going to tell you no? Who's going to stop you? Not Tony. Tony doesn't have the balls to. But you know what Tony does have the balls to do? Just not use you. That's kind of his MO, right? Like guys that he's done with, he doesn't really keep in touch with them. He doesn't let them know why he's done with them or anything like that, which is not how you want to be as a boss, right? If you're going to be a boss, have the balls to be like, hey, I don't really see a creative direction for you right now. If he still was on the, we're still going to keep you till the end of your contract thing, fine, but we don't have anything for you. He speckled them into TV, the Hardy Boys, here and there, but they never got a win. They never really recovered after that DUI. And this is one bad booking aside of Tony Khan. Hardy Boys, legendary aside, all you like. I get it. I can't fault Tony Khan for not wanting to take another risk on Jeff Hardy. My opinion of it is, if this was me, I bought in to, if I'm Tony Khan and myself, quite frankly, I bought in to Jeff Hardy is happy, healthy, drug-free, alcohol-free, good old Jeff Hardy back to 100%. I bought that Jeff Hardy, and I booked that Jeff Hardy to win the tag team titles in yet another company with his brother. And what happened? He fucked up. He lied to me. He wasn't okay. He wasn't good. He fucked up. I bought a lemon. I'm not going to go fucking try to put more money into you now and invest more TV time into you in a title run. What if I have you, okay, you've been good for a few months, and then I book you into another title feud and something else happens? Again, those DUIs were over the course of 10 years. How long ago was it that Sting, that Jeff Hardy had that match with Sting in TNA? And it was probably going on before that as well. Jeff has had decades of being a fuck up, my friends. It's not just, we go a few months, a half a year, and then we're good now. I don't buy it. I don't blame Tony Khan. And quite frankly, I don't think he lost out all that much by not using the Hardy Boys prominently on TV. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they would have sold more t-shirts. Maybe the Hardys would have sold tickets again. Maybe they would have been a bigger draw. At one point, AEW had a fucking banger of a tag team division, and they've just kind of gave up on that. You heard Matt say one of the criticisms, they just want to have bangers. They don't want to really invest in any kind of stories or anything. But what were those pitches behind the scenes, too, of the stories? Besides, hey, give me and Jeff another prominent run in the tag team. And not that they need to beat everybody or be the champions, but that they wanted to be featured prominently as a tag team and give the rub to other teams. But to do that, you got to have some wins and some credibility, as Matt pitched it. So the other option was, Matt immediately went to TNA and just started doing delete, which, worked great when it first started, in my opinion. When he first went broken, I was like, okay, that's goddamn brilliant. It works for Matt. It's a great way to refresh Matt's career. Everything at the Hardy compound was fucking amazing. But I feel like now in 2024, going back to that after you've done whatever you've done, not a lot of anything on AEW TV, you are free. You can be and do anything you want. And the first thing you immediately do is go into being Broken Matt. You got a TNA main event out of it. Good for you. And now Jeff's there with you. They're not signed to TNA. They are free agents that are just doing select gigs for TNA currently. You know, they are signed up to do a story there of some kind, apparently. I don't fault Tony Khan on this one. I don't trust Jeff. I'll never trust Jeff again. Related, I don't trust Matt either, because Matt was sticking up for Jeff the whole time. Now, look, that's his brother. He's going to stick up for him. And who knows what Matt knew? Probably everything, but who knows, you know? I can't imagine Matt doesn't know if his brother's back on the sauce, right? I'm sure he knows. They live on the same fucking compound, for Christ's sakes. But maybe not. Who knows? But in any event, I get Matt's going to stick up for his brother. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to trust anybody that says Jeff's in a good place. He's healthy. He's sober. I've heard this story before multiple times. And look, guys, I'll sign off on this here. You might say, oh, it's just 3 DUIs. Just three. Which one's going to kill a guy like Sonny did? Sonny just had 3. And then just 4. And then, oops, I killed a guy. My bad. I was drunk driving. Again, on a suspended license. Because I can't help myself. I have no self-control. I'm self-destructive. I'm an asshole. Just because Jeff's only had 3, why stop there? He's going to stop when he kills a guy and goes to jail. I'm over it. Again, I'm not trying to sit up here on my high horse or anything like that, but at a certain point, you got to write people off. How many chances can you give people? And, you know, now they want to come out and complain, oh, you didn't give us another chance. Oh, you weren't using us properly. My opinion, Tony bought a lemon, and he wiped his hands of it and put them on the a Rampage lineup until their contracts expire. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. But I'd love to know your thoughts. How many chances does Jeff Hardy deserve? At what point do people go, I've had enough of Jeff, I can't trust him anymore? Or do we, he's been good for a couple months, so let's, give him the big push ski all over again because they're the Hardys. What do you feel the Hardy Boys bring of value in 2024? Would you pay tickets to go see the Hardy Boys live complete and compete? Maybe you have, or maybe they're just, an autograph draw at this point. They're good for the convention circuit. They're good to go do the WWE Hall of Fame, but their run as a tag team is over. What are your thoughts? I'd love to know. Jump in anywhere you like with any part of this conversation. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes, and we'll catch you in the next video. Let me tell you something, brother. Thanks for watching the video. Check out more great clips by hitting that subscribe button, dude. And while you're there, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother.